everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're kicking off the Season 7 theory videos with my favourite topic, the Adrienette breakup.
No, I mean it.
Now, I know I ship them, I know you all know I ship them, but I am also a lover of drama, and with how much Marinette's been lying to him, I just really don't think they should stay together. I know they love each other, okay, I'm not denying that, I'm not going to pretend they don't love each other. But, you know, it's not the greatest relationship. Marinette's lying to him, Adrian's become very dependent on her. So I do think a breakup is for the best. But how is it going to happen? And you're all about to leave a comment saying, Hayes, are you stupid? Which, yes, I am. But are you stupid? She'll just, break up with him. Why are we even discussing this? Why is this a video? If we go back to Cat Blanc for a moment, when Marinette breaks up with Adrian, he is adamant he wants to know why Marinette has made this decision, but Marinette can't/won't tell him because in that instance, Gaby Baby made Marinette break up with him in Cat Blanc, not in this instance, but back in Cat Blanc, that's what happened. So she obviously didn't want to tell him that. So realistically, I don't think Marinette is going to be like, Adrian, I'm breaking up with you, and he'll be like, okay, cool. So what are you doing for the rest of the day? You know what I mean? He's going to have some reaction to it. He's not just going to accept this. He wants to know why. I think he's going to react like that for sure. He and Marinette have been through a lot together in this season and the half they've been together. He's going to be pretty upset. He'll want to know why Marinette has decided this. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to be very forthcoming with the truth and say, well, it's because, Gaby Baby was actually Monarch Daddy, I've been lying to you all this time, so we have to break up. In my opinion, Marinette doesn't want to tell Adrian the truth, but even if she did, I think she recognises it's a little bit too late, and she's going to break up with him, so she doesn't have to tell him. Or rather, so she doesn't have to deal with the guilt of lying to her boyfriend anymore, if he's no longer her boyfriend.
And modern problems require modern solutions.
So how will she do it? I suppose she could tell him she doesn't love him anymore, but I don't actually think Adrian would believe that. And people are like, no, you love me. There's something else going on here. So I think the only way she would break up with him would be based on what directly happened in Nemesis, where Adrian tells Marinette in that final scene between them that he wants her to be honest with him about how she really feels concerning his father. So I honestly think she'll be like, okay, he told me that, so I'll be honest with him and tell him. For example, she'll tell Adrian what Gaby Baby told her in Pretension, what he offered her, how he was manipulating her. And then Marinette will be like, look Adrian, I'm sorry, but we can't be together when you're choosing to honour your father and his memory and all the awful things he did with this museum exhibit thing you've got going on and just the way you think and view about him now. Which, yes, of course, I know is basically Marinette's fault. Put a pin in that, we'll get to that in just a moment. Now, of course, like in the episode when you have that first scene between Adrian and Marinette over FaceTime, Adrian was very, very confused, and I think he's going to be confused here, which, back to that point I said to put a pin in, I think that's the whole point. We've seen this season loads of instances of Marinette slowly becoming like Gabriel. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not a full Gabriel. If Gabriel is 100% Gabriel, Marinette's behaviour, if I was to put a number on it, I don't know, let's say like 25% Gabriel. I'm not going to sit here and pretend she's just as abusive as Gabriel is, but she is starting to slowly manipulate him, even though to her she's doing it for a better reason, although whether you could justify that is up to you. She's doing it in her mind for a better reason because she's trying to protect Adrian, but she's still doing the same things Gabriel was. Gabriel was also apparently trying to protect Adrian. And we also saw her, for example, in Nemesis as well, attempting to gaslight Alia in that scene where Alia confronts her with the diorama of what happened during recreation. So I'm not going to pretend Marinette is full on Gaby Baby, but I'm also not going to ignore the similarities either. So I think Adrian will leave that interaction feeling obviously upset, but also confused. So do I think if Marinette does indeed break up with Adrian, would she date someone else? No, I think she's just like, I can't deal with this, I need to be on my own. But I do think Luca may be back in Paris the moment he hears she's single. As for Adrian, I don't think he'll date anyone else. He's very much in love with Marinette. I think he's honestly going to do an Alia and try and work it out. However, like Alia, I think it'd be too much overkill for two characters to just, work it out. So perhaps he starts his own investigation. He's not getting anywhere though, because perhaps he has even less information than Alia, because Alia at least, knows who Ladybug is. Adrian doesn't, even though he's Cat Noir. So perhaps Agley could give him some information. And by Agley, I do indeed mean Lila, because after the revelation at the end of Nemesis, I'm like, come on, it has to be her. Has to be. Has to be. There's too much. There's too much going on. Anyway, besties, let me know first of all you want an updated video about Lila and Agley, because I will die on this hill. But I'd love to know what you think of this. What do you think Marinette will say to Adrien to break up with him? Because I really don't think she's going to break up with him by telling him the truth. And I will see you in the next one.